Hello, fifth graders. Today we're going to go over number patterns, functions, using multiplication properties, and distributive property. So for the first section, it's going to be number patterns, and we'll be doing number 1 and number 9. It says find the missing numbers, and number 1, it goes like this: 20, 17, 14, 11, and blank. And we're trying to find the missing number. And so, as you can tell by the title, there is a number pattern between these. And so what we're trying to find is what the pattern is, and using that pattern, what the missing number is. So to determine what the pattern is, we have to look. Is it increasing or decreasing? So for this one, it's decreasing. So it could either be subtraction or division. And so let's try the subtraction first. So 20 minus 17 is 3. 17 minus 14 is 3. 14 divided by 11, 14 minus 11 is 3. So we notice that there's a pattern of subtracting by 3. So we could also do that for 11. 11 minus 3, and we end up with 8. And so this is pretty easy. So 1 is just 8, and the pattern is that it subtracts by 3 each term. So now let's look at number 9. It says 25, 15, blank, and 100. And we're trying to find the missing term, this time between two different numbers. And so this time it's increasing, so it could either be addition or multiplication. So let's try addition first. So 25 to 50, we add it by 25. And then 50 plus 25, we will end up with 75. And 75 plus 25 is 100, and so it matches up. So addition is the correct one. And the pattern is that adds by 25, and number 9 is 75. If you're wondering, that it could also be multiplication because 25 times 2 is 50. But if you think about it, if you did 50 times 2, that would be 100, and that would mean the third term is 100, but that can't be it because the fourth term is 100. And if we multiply by 2 again, then this has to be 200. So it has to be an addition, and it's 75. So the second section is functions, and we'll be doing number 1. It says copy and complete the function table. And something to note is that there are a total of 5 problems, and I'm just doing number 1. So the function that we're given for number 1 is d equals 6c. And we're given these different values of c, and we're trying to find out what the d value is for each value of c. So let's just go down the list. So c equals 0, and we're trying to find the d value when c equals 0. So we will plug in 0 for c, like this, and we'll substitute it. And d would equal 0, and so we just put 0 right here. Next, we're going to c equals 5, and d equals 6 times 5, because we substitute it, and 6 times 5 is 30, so we put 30 here. And 10, so it's d equals 6 times 10, which is 60. So we put it right here. Next, we have c equals 15, and then we'll do d equals 6 times 15. And I'm going to multiply it on top of here. 15 times 6. So 6 times 5 is 30, and 6 times 1 is 6, plus 3 is 9. So 6 times 15 is 90. 90 over here. And then c equals 20, and then d equals 6 times 20, which is 120. So 120 goes over here. And that's just basically it. Make sure to substitute each value. Should get different ones. So the third section is using multiplication properties. And we'll be doing number 3 and number 6. So it says solve the equation. So let's solve number 3. So we're given n times 3 equals 3 times 9. So the right side and the left side can both be simplified. So 3 times n is just 3n, and 9 times 3 would equal 27. So now we just have to divide by 3 to both sides to get rid of the 3. So we get n equals 9. So that's basically it for number 3. And number 6 is 7 times 6, which is 42, times 2 equals 6 times 2n. This is just 2n's. So next, 42 times 2. That would be 84 equals 6 times 2n is 12n. So n equals 7. 12 times 7 is 84. So if you notice, there's a pattern. 9 times 3 equals 3 times 9. If you rewrite it, and this is 6 times 7 times 2 equals 6 times 7 times 2. I hope you notice the pattern. The fourth section is distributive property, and we'll be doing number 5. It says, restate the expression using distributive property, then find the value of the expression. So we're given number 5, which is 4 times, in parentheses, 4 plus n if n is 2. So we're given the information that n will equal 2. So let's just substitute that in. So 4 times 4 plus 2. And we wrote it, and we restated the expression using the variable that we're given. And now we're going to do distributive property, because it says using distributive property. And so distributive property looks like this. 4 plus 2, so we're gonna, oh wait, I think they want us to actually, without plugging it in, they wanted us to distribute it with the variable. So let's do that. So it's 4 times 4 plus n, and they want us to distribute. Distributing is where you multiply to each term inside the parentheses. So 4 times 4 is 16, so we write 16 here. And then we do 4 times n, which is 4n, 16 plus 4n. And so we restated the expression using distributive property. So we basically distributed this. Then we have to find the value of the expression. Since we're given that n equals 2, we're actually going to put it into this equation, not in this one. So 16 plus 4 times 2. And then we have to do multiplication first because of PEMDAS. 4 times 2 is 8. And then finally we got to add 16 plus 8, which is 24. So for the rest of the problems, we should be distributing first, like this. The number on the outside has to multiply to each term on the inside the parentheses. And then we have to plug in the variable that we're given. Each one of them will be different. And we plug it in, and we do all the operations needed using PEMDAS. And that's how you'll get your answer for this section. And number 5 is just 24. And that's it for today.